Hi everyone, this is Alex. I've been meaning to upload the part 2 of my video, why Asian guys don't come up to non-Asian girls, a lot sooner, but I was actually away. I was in Korea for the past 3 weeks and I just came back a couple days ago. And while I was in Korea, I was super busy and I just couldn't find time to make the video and upload it on the YouTube. And for those of you who have been waiting for this video for a very long time, I sincerely apologize. But better late than never, right? So before going into part 2, let me summarize the part 1. And in part 1, I basically gave the reasons for the Fabi Asian guys for not going up to non-Asian girls randomly in the streets, and those reasons were basically first, the language barrier, and the second was the cultural difference. And today for the part 2, I'm gonna exclusively devote for the Asian Americans who were born and raised in the U.S. and the reasons why they don't usually come up to non-Asian girls randomly in the streets. So as I said in part 1, everybody's different, and there can be many different reasons, but I can think of 4 major ones. So, for the first major reason, I can think of Asian parents and Asian family values having a lot of influence on the dating behavior of Asian Americans. If you happen to be dating an Asian guy or girl, and if you're serious and thinking about marrying that person, one thing that you have to understand is that when you do decide to marry that person, you're not actually marrying that one particular person, but you're actually marrying into his entire family. That's how tight-knit the Asian family usually is, and you can't really avoid that. Having said that, a lot of Asian guys are influenced by their family values and by what their parents have to say. So, since we're very young, we are taught, and our parents emphasize the importance of finding a date or finding a partner within our own ethnic background. And I guess some people might think that the Asian parents are being racist for teaching their children this way, but it's not like that. There can be many different reasons for the Asian parents, for teaching their children this way. But I can give you one simple example. A lot of first generation Asian parents are not fluent in English, so they want their sons and daughters to marry someone within their own ethnic background, so that they can relate to and easily communicate with their son-in-law or daughter-in-law in their native tongue. It's something simple like that usually. And because a lot of Asian guys are taught by our parents this way, we have this subconscious voice always constantly playing in the back of our mind, whether we know it or not, telling us to date within our own race and bring home the girl or guy that our parents would approve of. So when some Asian guys, the Asian American guys, see some non-Asian girl that they might be interested in, they usually will not approach them unless there are always exceptions, and unless that girl was like the love at first sight for that person or something like that. For the second major reason, it comes down to supply and demand. I guess this applies to any guys or any girls of any ethnic background, but I'm gonna just focus on Asian guys here. So just like in any race, really hot, smooth talking, popular Asian guys are always either taken or they are constantly surrounded by other, Asian girls, thus making them unnecessary to venture outside of their own race or their comfort zone to find dates. To date outside of your race, I think it takes more confidence and courage. And having said that, because a lot of confident and popular Asian guys usually just settle at their comfort zone, if you look at the overall picture, what happens is that you don't get enough Asian guys asking non-Asian women out for a date, randomly in the street or whatever in the United States. And I'm just generalizing here, but there are confident Asian guys who will just go for white girls or black girls or whatever. But I think you get what I'm trying to get at. For the third major reason, it comes down to racism. This is probably the biggest one, and there are two kinds of racism that I'm trying to get at here. First is the racism by Asian guys. Just like in any race, there are racist Asian Americans who will only date within their own ethnic background. Simple as that. Second kind of racism that I'm talking about is the racism that most Asians face in one form or another in the American society. So Asian guys know that the racism is out there because we all have experienced it. The racism could happen at school, at work, or in media sometimes. And I guess it also depends on the location. If some Asian guy grew up in LA or New York area, he might have experienced less racism as opposed to some Asian guy who grew up in the Midwest or somewhere remote where he was the only Asian kid at school. So we know that the racism is out there, but we also know that the racism out in the open is no longer tolerated in the American society. So what happened as a result is that a lot of racism have gone under. So a lot of racists have become closet racists. And there are no way for Asian guys to know who are, closet racists as opposed to who are not. So in terms of dating, when some Asian guy sees a really attractive non-Asian girl, even if he wants to, approach her and talk to her, there are several things that goes through his mind. First is that, what if she's just not, interested in Asian guys? What if she just doesn't, just give us a, chance, or give me a chance? And second thing that goes through our mind is that, what if she's the, closet racist? It's one thing to get rejected for your looks, your personality, or, for not being her type. But, it's another story if you get rejected because of your race. So, it makes it that much more difficult because there are several things that goes through, Asian guys when they see a non-Asian girl that they might be interested in. So, moving on to the fourth major reason, it comes down to compatibility issue. Because of racism from others, it gives that much stronger bond for Asians to stick together. And that's why you'll see a lot of Asians all grouped together and hanging out together in the United States. And as a result of this, over time, Asian Americans have created a subculture that is a well-balanced combination of Asian culture and American culture. And this subculture was created partly because even today, a lot of Asians are not fully accepted or assimilated into American culture, American society, I would say. I'll give you an example. I'm a U.S. citizen, but when some non-Asian person sees me and they ask me where I'm from, because I grew up in New York, New Jersey area, I tell them I'm from New York area, and then they always give me this bummed out face. And I know what they meant when they ask me where I'm from, but I usually say this to see their reaction because it's actually quite funny. And then I ask them, what you mean is where I'm originally from. And then the other person goes, yeah. And then I tell them that I'm originally from Korea. And, I'm just giving you this as an example, So even today, a lot of Asians are not accepted or are considered as Americans. So that's why this kind of subculture was created. Because I'm a Korean, I'll give you an example as a Korean. And when a lot of Korean guys and girls get together, we enjoy going to like the karaoke bars or the Korean restaurants to get some soju or whatever. And we usually talk about a lot of random stuff, but oftentimes some K-pop, K-drama, and we enjoy talking about those things. So unless the non-Asian girl is really knowledgeable about that subculture, there will be some mixed signals and compatible issues, at least initially. So, if, for example, if some Korean guy were to date a non-Asian girl who didn't know anything about K-pop or K-drama or something that some Korean guy usually enjoys talking about, there will be lack of common subjects to talk about when that Korean guy approaches that non-Asian girl, at least initially. And Asian Americans know about this, and that's why it makes it that much more difficult for us to approach someone outside of outside of our ethnic background, because there will be compatible issue, at least in the beginning. So basically today I talked about some of the reasons, 4 reasons to be exact, for the reason why the Asian Americans don't usually approach non-Asian girls randomly off the street. And as I said in part 1, most Asian guys that I know are not actually shy, and there are many other reasons other than the ones that I had mentioned. So, as you can probably tell, it's a lot more complicated than that. And I guess basically a lot of Asian guys know that dating outside of their ethnic background is that much challenging. That's why they don't usually go for the girl who are not within their ethnic background, unless there are always exceptions. Unless that girl was drop dead gorgeous and she was the love at first sight or whatever. I hope this video helps, and I'll be making the part 3, and part 3 will be exclusively for from my own experience. So please look out for that, and I hope I'll get to make the part 3 a lot sooner than how how I have made the part 2, you know. So until then, everybody, peace.